record number, I'm talking a record number of travelers are expected to fly this Thanksgiving holiday.
Fox Eye legal expert Wendy Patrick is here with what you need to know if you're headed to the airport. Ooh, I like this.
Yeah.
There's some changes that came down. It's going to change everything this year. Okay, if an airline, which by the way, I heard a story today that they are short air traffic controllers.
Oh.
So they're warning people to be prepared for delays in your flights. So what happens if you're one of those people, your flight gets delayed or your flight gets canceled over the next whatever weeks?
You will be a lot happier this year than in prior years because the U.S. Department of Transportation just implemented new rules that benefit passengers. So this is great news. It's great news on every front. And the very first thing I'll say is it's great news for those of us that want the money back right away.
Right.
Because that's what people, they don't necessarily want a travel credit. They may not be making the same trip again. They don't want to have to just get help rebooking. They say, show me the money. You canceled my flight now, and they have to show it to you sooner now.
What took them so long to do this?
Well, I can tell you, if you follow like I do, because I travel a lot, just like the two of you, and if you follow what's gone on in the last couple of years, especially since COVID, those significant delays and the grids going down, canceled flights, I mean, who hasn't been caught in some kind of a line like that over the last several years? Then that's not even taking into account the kinds of equipment failures, not to name names, Boeing, but some of the people that have really suffered, and I don't just mean seats blowing out of airlines, but you know, who hasn't had, you know, you have to make an exchange right at the last minute. So if your travel delay even includes something like swapping out a different kind of aircraft, that may be something that you can say, you know what, that's not okay with me. I don't necessarily want to be rebooked. I want my money back.
I know they didn't make these rules to be so nice and friendly to people, and they kind of went through it with the new rules define this as a significant change, right?
Oh, yeah.
So significant meaning what? That's subjective. Significant to me might not be significant to you, to the airline.
That's one of the reasons they have the rules that they do, and they enumerate a list of exceptions. Now, that's not to say there isn't a case-by-case basis, but it is things like delays over 3 hours, difference in airports, whether where you're leaving from or whether you're where you're arriving, connections, how many stops. I mean, think about it if you're checking a bag, how many things could go wrong, which, by the way, is another issue, is a checked bag compensation. But if you think about what would necessarily be significant as a practical matter, most of those things are on the list. These are passenger-friendly rules. I see you're skeptic. And I feel the same way. Is every time you hear about new rules, you think, how can they possibly make life as easy as they claim to? Well, these actually are significantly different in terms of the different ways in which you can receive compensation.
I had some of my really good friends getting on the airplane, and as they scanned the pass, it went beep beep, and they're like, can you step over here, please? So they stepped to the side, and they were going overseas. And they said, we're sorry, we don't have seats for you. And this is an overseas flight with a very limited amount of travel. I've never heard anything like this. Just get bumped off, like you paid full price, you even paid for your seat, and you get bumped off that flight.
Well, that's happened to me several times, and sometimes you will get a first class seat that they intentionally set aside for circumstances like this, especially when they anticipate a busy travel season. Other times you'll be able to get a significant amount of compensation for the delay. Now, what does that mean? Because that's another change. It used to be you had to prove up every receipt you bought. What about people that don't have credit cards and are paying, you know, cash or check or other ways that they're wiring money? Now they actually have rules that talk about all the different ways that you can receive compensation if that happens to you. Hotel rooms in that example, because that happens to all of us as well. They also look at what would be a reasonable expense. So no fancy sneakers, but if you have to buy things
reasonable expense.
Reasonable expense includes undergarments, hotel stays, things that no one would fight you over, that you're going to need. And they can't be, by the way, at your home city. You have to have an outbound flight where you're landing somewhere that's impacted.
Okay, before we let you go, the delayed baggage, lost baggage protection, how is that different now?
It's airline by airline, and I took the time to look at each airline to try to figure out, when do you even need to submit receipts? And the question is, you might not need to if a bag is delayed over 5 days. But if it is, in which case sometimes you can get up to $1,500 per bag. bag. That may not cover everything you have in that bag, so that's one of the reasons you might want to take inventory.
Oh, boy.
And why is it? It's so easy now to take pictures on our phones. I know people that do this as a matter of course. I also know people that don't check bags. Because
I
that
never check a
avoids,
bag.
and neither do I,
Ever.
and that avoids the entire issue. I also know people that choose credit cards based on travel protection. So, I mean, there are lots of things we can do. Maybe we'll do another segment before Christmas. Scratching the surface of all the ways you can protect
I
yourself
just
this
want to
travel
go on
season.
vacation.
I
You just
know.
gave me 3 weeks of homework
So you
and
take a
20
road trip.
books
You
to
know what,
read.
bro? You take a road trip.
I mean, you know what?
avoid the airport.
But you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
there's, okay, it's great that it did this, but you get to the airport and if you don't know your rights, you basically
Yeah.
have to do homework.
That's why you got to watch a segment like this, as there's lots of ways that you can make it
Goodness
easier.
gracious, Wendy. Patrick, always getting me riled up. I don't know.
That's okay.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you,
Have a great
guys.
weekend.
All
We'll
right.
be back.